All right, guys. It's looking really good for the Utah Jazz in terms of what they got in the Rudy Gobert trade. We already knew that, but it's crazy how things look better and better. Today, the Jazz beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Let's talk about it. So, sorry this is a little later. I started this late because I was actually filming a commercial today for the day job, and we did not get done till like 7:30. But I did on set watch a lot of the game during one of our mid breaks because we were ahead of schedule. But anyways, before we talk about the Jazz, let's talk about Prize Picks. Prize Picks will match up to $100 when you go to prizepicks.com and use promo code HoopsNerd. It supports the channel, and you get free money. Sign up. Get up to $100. Get your props. It's easy. Go do it. You could have signed up for Walker Kessler for rebounds because he got 20 of them. Anyways, go to Prize Picks. Sign up. It supports the channel. It helps me out. I would appreciate it. Why did I just turn off the audio? Okay. We get the ad off? All right. Let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gobert played 5 minutes in this one and then had to leave because of that groin injury. Here, let me pull up this and we'll just bring up the stats. Things are looking really good for the Utah Jazz, and they play the Minnesota Timberwolves, the team who was part of the Rudy Gobert trade. Rudy Gobert played 5 minutes. He was even for the season, but had to leave with that groin injury. So not really a lot to talk about with Rudy Gobert. I expected Anthony Edwards to have a big game today, and he did. 10 for 25, 40 from the field, but he did shoot 40% from the three. 29 points, 5 assists, 3 steals. It's interesting that when Rudy Gobert sits, Anthony Edwards seems to get better, although I expected him to have a monster game today, and it was just kind of like a good Anthony Edwards game. This Wolves team has some issues, but when Gobert and Towns are not playing, they become kind of a different team that's actually feels like it kind of adheres to what Edwards does a little better. And so I'm not that surprised that they were close with the Jazz in this game, even with Rudy Gobert out. Jaden McDaniels is one of those guys that I think they're expecting him to be a little better than he has been. Tonight, just 5 points, and I believe it was him that missed that final 3 to win the game. He did not hit it. I also expected D'Angelo Russell because he just played so well against the Jazz last time, and he scored, 21 points, 7 assists, so not bad. Pretty solid game for Russell. The rumors for D'Angelo Russell are that he might be going to Miami. Miami has interest in D'Angelo Russell. I wonder if what that would be. I don't know if they're going to send Kyle Lowry. I think Miami's actually done pretty well without Kyle Lowry, but I think Kyle Lowry might be a nice fit with this Wolves team. Maybe they want to just do some sort of swap because things haven't gone particularly well with Miami this season either. Key himself, $2. Thank you, Key, for the donation. I really appreciate it. He says Jazz are about 10 points away from the 3rd seed. Yes, that or the bottom. They're right in the middle, the Jazz. The Jazz got to make some decisions, and I wrote about it on SLC Dunk. Actually, you can go there and read the article. But go to SLC Dunk, you'll read it. Actually, Adam Bushman actually dove deep into some of the rumors, but Mike Conley to the Clippers is a rumor. And what is it? John Collins to the Jazz and a 3-team deal because the Cavaliers are interested in Malik Beasley. And so they're trying to figure out a 3-team trade. But I think it was Jake Fisher who said that one of the things holding things up is the Jazz want a pick for Jared Vanderbilt. And that's a reasonable expectation for this Jazz team who has a ton of interest in all of their guys. And so if that trade doesn't work, that's fine. They're going to find some other trade. But it looks like that might happen. I don't have a lot else to say about this Wolves team. It's a little bit of a sad team, to be honest. They just can't seem to get a lot of momentum. They did win something like 4 or 5 in a row not too long ago, but man, it just feels like once they get that winning team, they just start losing more games. That's all I got about the Wolves, honestly. Let's talk about the Jazz. I like the Jazz better than the Wolves. I am a Jazz fan, after all. Let's see. All right, so Malik Beasley has been on the trade block. We just mentioned him. It looks like the Cavs are interested in him. Jared Vanderbilt looks like the Suns were interested in Jared Vanderbilt in a possible 3-team trade. The Hawks might be interested in some sort of trade for Jared Vanderbilt. Steve, Jazz Exile, welcome to Starter. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome to the starting lineup. Rotation important player. Welcome, Steve. I appreciate it. But anyways, these guys start. Jared Vanderbilt has a solid game, as he always does. He comes into this one 4 for 5 with 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He just does a little of everything every time he plays. And he had some big time plays in that second half. He's just fun to watch, and he does a lot of fun things. And I enjoy Jared Vanderbilt on the Jazz. And so if a team like the Suns or the Hawks want Jared Vanderbilt, he is worth a first-round pick. You are not getting him for free. Just so all the teams out there know, it is not Danny Ainge's job to help you out. If we help you out, but you help us out, that's great. Like the Cavs trade, we will trade you a superstar, Donovan Mitchell, but give us back the value that Donovan Mitchell's worth. By the way, both those trades have turned out absolutely incredible for the Jazz. To just think, Ochai Agbaji, who was awesome tonight, we're going to talk about it, and Ochai Agbaji and Lauri Markkanen are what we got in the Cavs trade. It's going to get mixed up over time. Over the next 3 or 4 years, I am going to forget who went from where and everything. So bear with me. But there's more. We got Lauri Markkanen and Ochai Agbaji and Colin Sexton in that trade. And we have 3 picks in the future. So when Donovan Mitchell inevitably decides to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and go to like Miami or New York, and the Cavs go bad, how happy will we all be? I mean, are you kidding me? Lauri Markkanen is going to be an all-star this year. He is going to be an all-star. Ochai Agbaji looked awesome today. Awesome. And then we haven't even gotten to the Rudy Gobert trade and Walker Kessler. And we've already talked about Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, all these guys playing big-time minutes for the Jazz. And the picks for the Rudy Gobert trade are even better. It is. Honestly, though, some of those Cavs picks might be out of this world. Like, I think we're getting picks in 2029. Those picks might be sweet. Just absolutely incredible. But we'll see. All right, it's time to talk about the man of the hour. The man, the myth, the legend. He's Walker Kessler, Ranger. Today goes 20 points, 21 rebounds. 9 offensive rebounds for Walker Kessler. He is patrolling the paint. He is dominating inside on some of these possessions. And you know what's crazy is I think he has a lot of room for growth as a defender. You know, it's pretty remarkable. 4 assists for Walker Kessler. 2 blocks. I can't believe, I mean, it has got to be so brutal to be a Wolves fan today. To see Walker Kessler doing this as a rookie. Because basically they wanted rim protection to guard against the Memphis Grizzlies because they got smoked last year in the playoffs, and they thought if we get an inside presence, that's why they traded for Rudy Gobert, by the way. So we should all say thank you to Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies because they are the ones that got us Walker Kessler. Their dominance inside in the paint is what made that trade really happen. Thank you, Ja Morant. Thank you, Ja Morant. Thank you for being spectacular against the Wolves in that series. Anyways, Walker Kessler's 9 for 13 from the field, 9 offensive rebounds, including 12 defensive, 21 rebounds. It's incredible. Incredible. The first time a rookie has done that since 1993, and also shooting 65% from the field. Incredible. And I believe it's the first time a Jazz rookie has done that ever. Unbelievable. The thing is he can get better. He's going to get better. Can you believe that? He's going to improve. Now, there's 2 things I can see him improving. Just his offensive game overall, but he's already got nice touch. But we saw him do a little hook shot this game, and I bet you the Jazz were excited about that because if they can give the ball to Walker Kessler, if he's got like a bad center on him and he can just kind of punish a center and not just dunk the ball, but maybe some sort of little hook shot, little push shots, things around the rim, the things that could never be done with Rudy Gobert are now happening, and he's just going to get better. I don't know if he's ever going to be a outside shooter, and that's fine. But if he can do some things inside and have an offensive game inside that forces defenses to guard him, that's huge. That is huge for this offense. And then on the other end, on defense, he is already one of the best shot blockers in the NBA as a rookie, and I think he has a lot of room for improvement as a defender. It doesn't always mean that you're a great defensive player just because you block shots. Block shots are definitely a part of it. Blocking shots is always great. But can you also be a defender that's always in the right spot, that's blowing up plays, that's getting that second jump to deflect or stop shots on all the different types of shots that come at you, not just the straight line drive shot from the initial ball handler, but can you do secondary actions, third actions? Are you moving and gliding along on defense, doing things that make you an elite defender? Because those are the things that Rudy Gobert is so good at. It's the things that don't show up on the stat sheet except for the advanced stuff. And Walker Kessler, I think, can really improve in a lot of those ways. So combining his incredible shot blocking ability with improved defensive awareness and understanding and just becoming a better defensive player overall, unbelievable. And guess what? He's probably going to get stronger. You know, he's going to hit that weight room and get to be, jogger Kessler and runner Kessler, or maybe bench Kessler, bench presser Kessler, right? Can he just get stronger and more physically dominant? Because I think he can. And it's just exciting to think about what he can become. Seems to have the attitude as well that he can improve. And he's got that humility to learn and grow and not just be like, I'm a finished product. I mean, and who says he can't become a good outside shooter? Usually free throws are a pretty good indicator if someone can become a passable three-point shooter. And right now, I don't think his free throws are bad, but I don't think it's really good enough. Let's just look at it. Right now, 7-7, and that's in per game. This is actually wild stuff. In 19 minutes a game, he's 7-7. So he's like, oh my gosh, what is that for 36? Oh my god. I don't think this is updated. Oh. But let's see what it is tonight. Tonight's stats are going to inflate things, but not a lot. We're already halfway through the year. Let's go through here. Oh wait, no. Sorry guys, this is just off the I just want to see. So his per 36 before tonight, 13, 12, and 3.7 blocks. Are you kidding me? And that's not even including tonight's stats. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you if he's doing like 14-14 or 15-15 seasons, are you kidding me? Averaging near 4 blocks per game. What? Are you kidding? And he was the throw-in in the trade. He was the throw-in. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, anyways, why did I go to that in the first place? So his free throw percentage right now, 55%. So I think he'll be a lot like Rudy Gobert. Right off the bat, it's better than Rudy was in his rookie season. But if he can get this to 65%, 70%, then it's, lights out. He is just an absolute dominant force on both ends of the floor. But having him be at 55% from the free throw line does not make me think that he's going to be a three-point shooter, nor is it something we should really worry about. If you're not good at it, don't do it, But you know what's really effective? Dunks. Getting dunks. And you know what else is really effective in offensive rating? Offensive rebounds and putbacks. I mean, Rudy Gobert made an absolute killing on his contracts by getting offensive rebounds and putbacks and things. And Kessler looks like he might be better at it. He has softer hands, better touch. He can put that ball in the rim at a better rate. It's wild. It's really crazy how good he's already looking. So anyways, I think he's going to be tonight, 50% from the free throw. Can't say enough good things. All right. Jordan Clarkson is just one of my favorite players. Tonight, he was just shooting the ball. 1 assist, 1 rebound. It was just about getting buckets tonight, but it wasn't falling from 2. It was from 3, though. 21 points. And Mike Conley, look at this. Improved night. Near triple-double for Mike Conley. Quietly. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. really solid. In fact, the last 2-3 games, we've seen Mike Conley kind of get better. It was looking pretty rough there for like the last month post-injury. It was not looking great, but Mike Conley is improving. 5 for 8 from the field. Really nice. This is right here a sign of age. 1 for 1. Taking one free throw. He's either shooting the three or he's hitting a floater or he's passing the ball, which is fine. This is kind of off-ball stuff. So, I mean, if the Clippers really want him, and I think the Jazz need to kind of explore that, because you guys know how I feel about the draft pick. This shows right to me that he is more of a secondary player, and we have him running as a main offensive playmaker. So, I don't know. Okay, can we buy... Oh, Ezekiel Raisibe, my man. My man, 5. I believe that's $5 Australian. That's 5 Australian McChickens. I wonder if they have McChickens in Australia. I bet they do. They're probably just... maybe they're... I don't know. I'm going to make a stupid Australia joke, and I can't think of one, so I am sorry. But anyways, love Gobert, but the Minnesota trade is looking all-time one-sided. It really is. It's bonkers. It's really bad. It's really bad for Minnesota. Oh! Okay. I don't know if I doubt they're all watching this, but there were some arguments today. So I am SLC Dunk manager. I manage the site. I am part of a brotherhood of managers. I am the representative of all of you, kind of like Congress, honestly, a little bit. I'm like a Utah Jazz senator, right? Same level, same thing, right? Anyways, I represent the Utah Jazz amongst all the other blog managers. Today, the Dallas blog manager was arguing with one of the Lakers blog managers about fouls. And I was like, Luka gets a lot of calls. LeBron gets a lot of calls. Us in Utah, I don't know if we ever really have. We would just say you guys get more calls than we do. All right, we'll just say that. Us from the great Utah Jazz of Utah. Our vote is that I vote for neither of you, okay? I vote for us. But I tell you what, the Minnesota fans, they are going through it right now. I made a comment in the blog because he was saying now I have to watch Rudy Gobert 4 days a week. And I just said, well, no trade backs. There's no receipt, so no returns on that purchase. And I also just thanked him for Walker Kessler. He did not appreciate that. That's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to be gracious and give much thanks to our brother in Minnesota over there. Thank you. Thank you, Minnesota, for Walker Kessler. Thank you for all the draft picks we could ever ask for. Our treasure chest is absolutely shaking. When you're playing a video game and you find that treasure chest, that's what we have. And it's like, when it's like... It's got like the little exclamation point and you're supposed to open it. And inside is all these picks for us. Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. And that's the Rudy Gobert trade. Because guess what? Let's talk about Ochai Agbaji. Ochai Agbaji. Does Cleveland get Ochai Agbaji back? No Ochai Agbaji. When Ochai Agbaji's on the floor, he shows up like a G.I. Joe Ochai Agbaji. Okay? He comes out there. He's ready to kick some butt. So anyways, 17 points tonight. Look at these percentages. 6 for 8 from the field. 3 for 4 from 3. My heart. I'm so happy inside when I see Ochai Agbaji doing well. So we got Walker. Here's what we got in terms of just young players. We've already talked about Jared Vanderbilt. We've already talked about Malik Beasley. By the way, Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley one of them might turn into John Collins. So Rudy Gobert might have gotten us John Collins, all these picks, plus Walker Kessler. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? The absolute return we will be getting on our investment is incredible. If businesses got a return on investment like Danny Ainge got for our draft picks, man, they'd be doing pretty well. I would want stock in that company, okay? But anyways, the Cleveland trade. Just remember, Lauri Markkanen didn't play today, and he is an all-star. And we got him from Cleveland for Donovan Mitchell, who, by the way, is having an all-time... He's going to be first-team All-NBA. Incredible. So Cleveland is not sad about that trade. But I bet seeing Lauri Markkanen doing what he's doing, I bet there's a little bit of a side eye. A little side eye there. Now, Ochai Agbaji is turning it on. You know, and we've already seen what Colin Sexton can do. Look at this. 70% from the field for Colin Sexton. Incredible. I mean, incredible. Colin Sexton, you know, I don't know if he'll be traded or if he'll be with the team for the length of his contract. Who knows? But one thing's for sure. Colin Sexton plays hard, and Colin Sexton is an efficient scorer. Now, like we've said, we talk about this all the time. Colin Sexton has blinders, and sometimes he doesn't have great vision, and that's fine. If you're a sixth man scorer, that's fine. And it seems like he's actually kind of improved. And what I do love about Sexton is it's just like that guy will like give everything. He is going to put his body on the line every night, and I love that. That makes me happy. But anyways, back to Ochai. We have him along with Lauri Markkanen, along with Colin Sexton, and then all those picks. All those picks. It's incredible. Ochai Agbaji is looking like a future 3-and-D wing for the Jazz for the next 10 years. Defensive player. And Michael, I'll have to share the tweet with you guys. When you look at the percentages, the shooting percentages of the players that Ochai Agbaji guards, they are low. It is like $10. Oh, I just saw the donation come through. Boo Radley Sr., $9.99. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for the content. Loved your post-game shows all year. Well, thanks, Boo Radley. Thank you. I appreciate it. $10. Thank you, my friend. And again, thank you, Ezekiel, and thank you, Key. But yes, thank you, Boo Radley. And you guys, you know what? I love doing this, but I can't do this without you guys. So I appreciate you guys more than you appreciate me. I bet it's a competition. But what I was saying about Ochai Agbaji is that Ochai, when he's guarding them, they're like 5 to 10% worse on their percentages than their average. It's happening. It's happening. It's like when Michael Scott comes out of the office with the fire alarm. It's happening. It's really true. He's 6'5". He's really long. He's really athletic. We saw him make athletic plays tonight with the alley-oop and all that. I'm so big on Ochai Agbaji. And if the Jazz can make a trade here soon and really drop and maybe get a top 6 pick, like, can we go get Cam Whitmore? By the way, the things we thought would be happening in this draft are happening. It's really exciting. The Jazz have to figure out a way. They have to make these trades. I know it's going to be painful. I know a lot of you watching this don't like it when I talk about it. But I'm telling you what, if we can secure a top 6, 7 pick, that's all it takes. Because that means you're getting one of Cam Whitmore. You're getting Brandon Miller. You're getting one of the Thompson twins. You are getting a nice wing that can grow and develop next to Lauri Markkanen. And then you have 2 other picks in this draft, which you either just draft and hope that they hit, or you use them to go get a nice prospect from someone else to play point guard. It's incredible. And if the Jazz win the lottery and they get like that top 1 or 2 pick, we know what that means. And that's exciting stuff. So pretty darn cool what the Jazz are doing. So basically, can we just play more Rudy Gay? More Rudy Gay, okay? Taylor Horton-Tucker had a good game last game. Tonight, he came down to earth a little bit, and that's probably why he played 8 minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker continues to put up pretty good percentages. Kind of interesting, his 3-point... Let's look at his 3-point percentage, just for curious. For the season, I swear it's got to be pretty good. Yeah, look at that. We talked about it last night. 39%. Shooting an absolute career-high 3-point percentage. So everyone who complained about that Joe Ingles trade and complained on Twitter and blah, 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 the Jazz didn't get anything. Well, guess what? Will Hardy turned Nickeil Alexander-Walker into a pretty nice little point guard. By the way, shout out to Will Hardy, the other acquisition this summer, who has turned this team into a fun team every night. I was talking about this with a friend of mine. Sorry, this is going long. I don't care. I was talking to a friend of mine. How many times did this Jazz team, and I know the Jazz are going to lose a lot of games for the rest of the year, and that's fine. I'm going to enjoy this season more with this team losing games than I did last year with the Jazz team that won a lot of games. Part of it is because everything was so scripted and predictable last year. But think about last year. How many times did the Jazz get blown out last year? Like a lot. It was kind of like if they didn't blow another team out, they would get either blown out or they would lose a lot of close ones at the end. Just really brutal. The thing that's so fun and so exciting about this team is they are all playing hard. And well, let's talk about it. There are a few reasons I think so. They play hard every night. So this game, they were down multiple times by double digits. Multiple times, like 2 times they were down by like 10 plus points. And they fight back both times. So considering how bad their defense is, and their defense is really bad, they fight back. They never stop coming. They never stop playing hard. And it's just refreshing and fun and enjoyable. So even if they lose, you at least feel good. You tried. You knew that this Jazz team gave everything they had. And they do that every night. And so it's really fun. And so let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, why they fight so hard. So, one, Will Hardy. He is getting the best out of every player on this team. He is getting the best out of young players and rookies. Like, do we see this with Ochai Agbaji last year with the tentativeness he played with? No way. 0 shot. And you all know that's true. You all know it to be true. Look within your hearts. You know it to be true. He would have been considered a BUST last year, right? Right? Not this year. Not with Will Hardy coaching. He's playing. Walker Kessler, I would imagine, gets some minutes last year, but man, he's looking incredible this year. And obviously he'd be behind Rudy Gobert. So that would have been kind of, I don't know. That's kind of an interesting thing to think. Oh, I think he'd be doing the same things he's doing now. And I think we'd be pretty excited about what Walker Kessler does. But I think he'd have been playing for Quinn Snyder, actually, just in Quinn Snyder's defense. But yeah, that's one of it. Will Hardy is a really good head coach. He's really good. And I see people nitpick about like, oh, he needs to get better at like, doing this play calling and he needs the time, how he uses his timeouts and blah, 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 and those kind of minute things. And you know what? You're probably right. He is a rookie head coach as well. So he is also going to take some time to develop. And that's what's kind of cool about this season is we've got players developing and a coach who is developing. It just takes experience. I don't care if you've been a junior Jazz head coach. The first time, it's on you, where you have to be calling the timeouts, you have to be watching lineups, you have to be making sure you're paying attention to the game plan. There's a lot going on, So I think there's a little element of Will Hardy just having to get some experience doing that, but he's already pretty darn good. And he'll just get better. But the things that really matter most is a system that the players enjoy playing in, that he makes lineup changes that are necessary. He doesn't have a concrete starting lineup. This starting lineup changes all the time. Jared Vanderbilt didn't start last game. Tonight he started. It just changes. And so the Jazz are doing different things. They try different lineups. They plan for teams differently than they did last year. Last year, it just felt like if we execute our game plan better, we will win. Now it feels like a more fluid game plan where they say, we're going to try this tonight and we're going to do this to win this game. The defense has to get better. The other thing is the Jazz made trades, and that made them a better team. So many people for the last 2-3 years, remember, it was the run it back crew or the let's try it again because we're good enough to win it all. Well, there is some element of truth to that, but then when you do that for 3 years in a row and players have no consequence for poor play, there's never any change to what you do, that, the changes are just kind of like pretty minute changes to the system that's already in place. Things get stagnant and players stop improving or progressing. And if there's no consequence to what a player is doing, then why would they get better? They're going to get their contract anyway, and they're going to play hard, but there's not really a huge incentive to like really improve that they might not have had before. This team, they brought back everyone, only Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson, and everyone else was new. So what that means is you've got multiple guys trying to prove themselves. You've got Malik Beasley, who had some off the court stuff he had to work through, and he's trying to prove himself, and he's done a great job of that. And so he's playing at his best level. Jared Vanderbilt, who was mostly playing backup and in Minnesota, gets his chance to start and is really trying to prove himself. So he's going out there playing hard and trying to show that, hey, I'm a starting rotation player in this league. And all these other guys. So, Kelly Olynyk when he's playing. Lauri Markkanen, who had massive chip on his shoulder, 4 or 5 years been told he's a bust. Everyone said they were disappointed with what Lauri Markkanen was and what had been. comes to the Jazz, gets a real shot to just be kind of the guy, and absolutely ran with it. So this idea that you just run it back, it's not very effective. You know, yes, you want to keep your core, most important players. You want to make sure that you run your team with contracts that are smart and that they fit within the cap in the right way. You don't want to overpay players if you don't have to. And if you do, you do it when you know it's the right move. But you need to switch things up a little bit. If you never have competition on your team, then you're going to find yourself being stagnant, you know? It's just the way it goes. And it was just, I don't know how you guys feel, but personally, it is just so much more refreshing. It's so more interesting. It's so much more fun to have this team of guys that are playing their hearts out every night. It's a blast. And some of that comes from the coach and, the system. And some of that comes from having players on your team working for a contract. Contract year thing is a real deal, is a real thing. Guys play for that contract and they will give everything they have. And it takes a good coach to make sure everyone's happy. And so this team feels like a team that's really full of guys that are feeling satisfied, that are getting their minutes, and then they're doing stuff with them. It's really fun to see. And I think that's a big part of why they're constantly in the game. Whereas last year, when there was no consequence to poor play, it's not surprising that on nights when they were just like, they like tonight, does the Jazz win this game last season? Maybe not. You go down 10 twice last season, then they probably just give up because they did it many, many times, So that's all I got tonight, guys. Thank you for the donations. It's time for our nightly thing. We might not have a lottery pick right now. Let's see here. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, first off, make sure you like and subscribe. Why wouldn't you? Especially if you love the Jazz. But here we go. We're at Tankathon. Let's refresh it. After tonight's win, the Jazz are out of the lottery with their pick. Look at that. But it keeps Minnesota in the lottery. So we still have a shot to win it all. Incredible. This is where we want to be. But look at this. 24 losses. We are tied with the number 7 Lakers trying to win. We should be able to get number 7 pretty easily. And honestly, 5 is in play because Orlando's playing really well. Anyways, shall we see what we get from Minnesota? Fingers crossed. Oh, Washington jumps, the team that we can likely skip past. Chicago jumps as well, keeping their pick. That's crazy. And we get number 13, which gets us with the updated mock draft. Updated one day ago. Look at that. Good job. Good job, Tankathon. Anthony Black. Nice size from Arkansas. Shooting guard, small forward, 6'7". I tell you what, this fits kind of what the Jazz want to do. Being 6'7", athletic. You want athletes, long, athletic athletes on your team. That's what you want. Look at this. They have Amen and Asar at 4 and 5, with Brandon Miller now at the number 3. Look at this. Nick Smith Jr. was at the 4 here before. He has dropped. Can you imagine if we get Nick Smith Jr.? By the way, this guy looks like Jordan Clarkson, but he can do everything. And he looks like the purest point guard to me in this draft. Holy smokes, this guy makes it look easy. He is a lot of fun. If we ended up with Nick Smith Jr. as our future point guard, I'd be really excited. Go watch the film, guys. It's fun. And then Cam Whitmore at 7. Are you kidding me? And we haven't even started talking about G.G. Jackson. If he's still staying at 20, I bet we nabbed him at 13, and I'd be ecstatic. This guy is 6 foot. Look at this. 6'9", 215 pounds, but he is showing a lot. And I'd rather get G.G. Jackson if I'm at 13 and things. Who cares? All right, it's time to give a shout out to our All-Stars. Let's see. I just gotta. Do we have any? I'm gonna refresh this just to be sure, because I never, ever, ever want to miss someone who's. Again, thank you for joining, Steve. Jazz Exile. Okay, let's give a shout out to See Ya, Lexa Later, Built Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Jared Chanderbilt, Shan Therick, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de Baco, Baby Elliott Matson, Jordan the GOAT Best Roll, Just Buckets JB, Zap Watts, TGD Total Game Domination, Christian House Money to Haas, Tyson Price, The Price is Right, X marks the spot for Zintas, Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer, Ezekiel Raisibe, the man from Down Under, with the donation as well, Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, Donald Schooley, School and all of us, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Patrick Kubo, the Connoisseur, and Robert Hall of Fame. Guys, that was a fun win. Even though I want the Jazz to lose so I can get one of these really nice picks, I really, really would like Cam Whitmore. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's looking so nice. He's looking so nice. It would be really nice to get him, but the Jazz might just be too good. Oh well. All right, guys, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. You can do it right there. Join the channel like Steve did, and it helps support everything I'm doing. Also, if you haven't already, go to Prize Picks and sign up if you like that. It's really fun. It's a blast. It's easy to do, and you can get up to $100 match with using promo code HOOPSNERD, and it supports the channel. All right, guys, I will talk to you next time.